to the 23rd edition or episode of our AI and digital marketing demo zone. This happens every Wednesday at 11 a.m. EST, 3 p.m. GMT. This is where we get our hands dirty. This is not your ordinary YouTube video, but this is one that gives you like the classroom settings where we go deeper. We share slides and then we go deeper by getting our hands dirty. We preach what we practice what we preach. And so today, the topic for the session is the ultimate go high level AI email marketing tutorial. And this is a very broad topic, so I've split this into two. Today is the part one where we just going to deal with one aspect of email marketing, and then the part two, which is going to happen next week, is going to be about the advanced level of how to do email marketing. So, without wasting any time, let me know in the chat, where you are watching from. How is this your first time here in this live session? Let me know. Let me know because we do this every week. And I hope that if this is your first time, I hope that you keep coming to these sessions. If you cannot make it, this is always going to be under the live session tab, and you can always go back and watch all these videos. And all the videos are built up on each other. So you can always go back and watch and then follow the steps because every lesson builds on the previous one. So let's get into it without wasting time. Let me share my slides and let's get things rolling. So the topic for today is the ultimate go high level AI email marketing tutorial. As I said, today we are dealing with the part one, which is going to be broadcasting. We are just going to broadcast to our leads or our customers, depending on what is going on. And then the next week is going to be the automated email sequence. This is where we set up things once and then it works continuously until we want to update it. So make sure you don't miss next week because next week is going to be very valuable as well. But this is the foundation. You need to know this because these are two separate animals, right? But they all have their purpose. So let's dig into it right away. So why is email marketing so important? There are different ways of um, prospecting and there are different ways of selling, and email is one of the number one ways of contacting your prospect. Is also the cheapest way and it's also the most reliable. So I came up with about top 10, top 8 of the reasons why email marketing is your number one tool to go for. The first one is exceptional ROI. So for every dollar that you spend, you are getting about $42 in return, and that's huge. That is about 400% ROI. I know my math is not that great, but I mean, I think it's about 400% ROI. That is huge. There's no marketing that can give you that. So if you do it properly and you follow the guidelines, you are really going to be successful. Some companies, some people just depend 100% on email marketing, and that is their that's the fuel that powers their business. Also, is unmatched reach, right? There are over 4 billion daily email users globally. Everybody has an email address. Everybody checks their email occasionally. So this is the easiest way and the most reliable way to reach your clients, to reach your customers, or to even prospect new business. So that is great. It also has the higher conversion. So every email converts 3 times more than social media, driving direct sales and lead generation. So if you have a database of leads, of clients, of past clients, you are 3 times more likable to make a sale. So that is also the reason why email is one of the best tools to use in making sales, to use as a campaign strategy to increase your bottom line. It also has a personalized engagement. So this is not like a message that you drop on social media, but this is personalized because you are going to address them with their first name. The subject line can have their first name, and people like that when they see that personalization. So that gives you 6 times higher transaction rate, and that fosters a deeper customer relationship. The fifth one is direct ownership. If you build a good fan base, if you build a good loyal audience, you are going to have this as your asset. This is going to be your business asset, and anything that you want to sell, you can sell it easily. And this is not something that you always have to go and pay, like paid ads, and doing a lot of social media posting. One email is just going to take care of these things for you, and you can set this up in an automated sequence, which is something that we are going to address in uh, part 2 next week. And also customer retention, right? If you are able to nurture these customers properly, email is 40 times more effective at acquiring new customers than Facebook or Twitter. So that is another reason why it's 40 times more effective, and you can retain your customers. Just imagine if you are sending newsletters, you are doing this thing right, and you are not spamming them, but you are sending them valuable information based on what they subscribed. They are going to be loyal customers, and you are going to have a higher customer retention. And also the results are measurable. You don't know what you don't know, you don't know what you don't track. So this also gives you that visibility of tracking, and you can see how you are doing. So if you are sending 50,000 emails and you are making, let's say, $5,000 in a month, you know that if you extrapolate that to 100,000 email or leads, there is a likelihood that you are going to double your bottom line. So, and it's also one of the cost effective strategies. Email remains one of the most budget friendly marketing channels. And this is, everybody knows this, because you can send an email to 5,000 people and you are guaranteed that most of it, 95%, if you have cleaned your data, you know that 95 to 100% are going to end up in their inboxes. As to whether they are going to open or not is another story altogether, right? But you know that they are going to hit their inboxes, and it's not like social media where if they don't see it, they don't see it, but this is going to be there for them. So this is one of the effective way of marketing. Let's move on. So who is this video for? As you know, I have two people that I always work with. The first one is people like me, and these are tech professionals who just think that they are worth more than just a salary, and they want to start their own AI consulting business, and they are just tired of the corporate world, and they are burnout, and they just want their freedom back. And so if you are here, you are a tech professional, and you want to build an AI offer for business clients, depending on whatever you want to deliver, this video is for you. And there are a lot of companies out there that specialize in just email marketing campaigns for businesses, and you can build this as a consultant, email campaign consultant, and that is all that you are going to focus on and build this for your clients. So if you are a tech professional who wants to start your own AI consulting or business, this is for you. And also, if you're a business owner and you want to increase your outreach to your customers and also to prospect new clients, then this is for you. And you can, get test drive GoHighLevel. If you don't have it, GoHighLevel is a CRM tool which I use. I've been using it since 2018. This tool has over 30 to 40 tools. It's crazy. But every tool that you need to run a successful business is in there. So if you're a business owner and you are using tools like ActiveCampaign, Mailchimp, and all these different tools that you need so many hundreds of logins to, and they don't communicate with each other, I recommend Go High Level or High Level CRM tool for you. And you can also have create this email campaign. So by the end of this part one, you will be able to understand how email campaigns work, how to track your metrics, and also how to set up a broadcast. Right, you have a set of a batch of clients or a set of leads that you want to send a message to. You can do that. By the end of this, you should be able to do that. So let's move on. And if you are paying for, so there are different tools out there that don't communicate with each other, and each of them you have to log in. So for example, there is Mailchimp. It's also a CRM, just like Go High Level, but it doesn't, on a scale of 1 to 10, when you compare Mailchimp and Go High Level, it's like father and son, right? Go High Level has a lot of tools in there. As opposed to Mailchimp. And also, when we talk about email campaigns and calendars and all, the active campaign is one of those, and it's also the same thing. They are all like different tools which are all broken. They don't communicate with each other. When we talk about Klaviyo is more for managing your contacts and pipelines and conversations. Everything that I'm talking about is in Go High Level, and it comes, you don't have to pay extra for that, right? So you are either juggling, even just talking about email, you have maybe about 3 or 5 tools that just helps you to do just one thing by just sending out email blast or email automation. With Go High Level, you have everything under one roof. It's all one tool. All the tools are communicating with each other. Plus, you have other tools which are also going to communicate with your email system. So let's say, for example, if you have Mailchimp, you are paying up to 200, $300 a month. Active Campaign is about up to 400, depending on the subscription package you're on. Klaviyo is the same thing, up to about 700. I used to use Klaviyo when I had a Shopify store, and the more features you add, the more you pay. Go High Level, everything is in one. You don't have to pay for all this extra stuff, right? Constant Contact is also like a contact management tool. It's the same thing, up to 195. ConvertKit is also for emailing, just like Go High Level. I had ConvertKit before. It's the same thing. Whatever you want to do, the more contacts you add, the more features you want, you have to pay more. So it gets expensive as you grow, right? With Go High Level, you can grow for so much, and you still, excuse me, you still don't have to pay much. So you are saving up to about 1,700 a month, when you are using a tool like Go High Level. And it's not just about email, but it also has a lot of other tools that you will need to run your business. And that's everything you need in one platform. So email campaign builder, you have the dynamic personalization, which is where you replace values like making personalization like customer's name, customer's address, and all that kind of stuff. Everything can be populated. So if you are sending it to 100 people, you don't have to type their names manually or their addresses manually. Once you use these custom values, they are going to be populated for each customer. Campaign analytics are very, very important, because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't track. Contact list and segmentation. So you can segment your leads, because they all kind of have different needs and the different ways they entered into your system through different funnels. So you tag them based on where they came from. Maybe they were a referral, maybe they came from your Facebook campaign. All those things, you tag all these people so you can segment them and send the appropriate emails to the group that you want. Email templates library. This is also very valuable because sometimes, you create one email, you want to reuse it. So you can have a template and you can have it, the same template can be used in different campaigns. So you don't have to create a new email all the time. You can have just one template which can be applied in different campaigns. And once you update the template, it's going to be updated in all the campaigns that you have, which is a huge time saver. And then we have the full CRM connection, like everything is talking to each other. So you don't have to log in into this tool and to A, to B, to C. It gets confusing, and you have all your assets, all your data scattered in different tools, right? Once you want to move from one tool, then you have to migrate and all that. Sometimes it's very technical. You don't want to do that. So when it comes to Mailchimp, Go High Level email marketing is already in place. Active campaigns, everything that we've talked about, it's all in Go High Level, and you don't have to pay extra for that. And here's what we are going to do live. For this demo, we are going to do broadcasts, right? Email broadcast. And email broadcast is different from email automation, which is going to happen next week. So the difference is that when it comes to broadcast, the word says broadcast, right? You are going to send a one-time broadcasting, you're broadcasting that email to so many people or a group of people. You do this only once. And so let's say a use case for something like this is when you are making a promotion, let's say Labor Day promotion. This is not something that you've set up automatically. So with this, you want to send like a broadcast and say, okay, tomorrow we have an event happening, or maybe tomorrow is Labor Day promotion, right? So you send that email to the people, and this is done only once. If you have a discount code that you want to share, this is how you set up broadcast and send it to people. These are one-time events, and so know the difference. We have broadcast, which is just a one-time event, and then we have the automated sequence, which is like a series of emails, which is going to be like educational emails. Maybe email one is talking about introduction to something. Email two is going to talk about the story or the business story. Email three is going to, so these are different things, right? But today our focus is on email broadcast, and that is what we are going to do. So today we are going to set up the email marketing. We are going to do some due diligence to make sure that everything is connected properly, and also we are going to build a campaign from scratch. We are also going to create a template, and we are going to use the drag and drop, the manual way of doing things. I always want people to understand how things are done manually even before we hand over to the AI, because if you don't know how to do it manually, when the AI does it and screws up, which happens sometimes, hallucination, if you heard of the word. Yeah, sometimes it kind of gets confused and it might not do it the right way. So if you know how to do this manually, then you will be able to guide the AI when it makes mistakes. And this is also the reason why AI is not here to really take all our jobs, but it's here to really enhance our productivity. And so we are going to build templates, and we are also going to add contacts to the list or the email campaign that we want to send out, how we can segment our leads and or our customers, and how we can send it to them personalized with dynamic fields. Like I said, the first name, everybody is going to be addressed with their first name, and we are also going to see how we can track. So this is what we are going to do today, and let's move on to Go High Level. What makes Go High Level email marketing different from other platforms? everything lives where your contact lives. So you don't have to connect Klaviyo with Mailchimp. And even though they all have that, but they are all limited with the features that they have. You can send email to the right people every time. Your branding is there, your brand voice is there. Every email is going to follow the same thing. You don't have to manage all this stuff in different tools, right? You know exactly what is working and what is not working, because the real time analytics show you open rates, click through rates, and all that. And all these tools I'm talking about, we are comparing to Go High Level, also have those features, but they are not as broad and detailed as Go High Level. And also, you have to know that you are not just paying for an email marketing platform, but you have other suite of tools, like funnels, like website builder, vibe coding, um, invoices, how to create invoices, how to create contracts, email signatures. All those things are all in this tool. So you are just getting a lot of things from just one tool. So before we go live, if you are already thinking that I need someone to set up this for me, if you're a business owner and you are very interested in setting up email campaigns for your contacts, for your leads, for your customers, we will be happy to talk to you. And there is a calendar link here which Sandrine is going to drop. You can book a free 30 minutes discovery call with me, and we can discuss your business goals and what you want to achieve with email marketing. I'll be happy to give you all the information that you need. Even if I cannot help you, I'm going to point you in the right direction. And sometimes, I talk to people, they might be doing the right thing, and I just have to point to them what needs to be done. It's not always about trying to get your business. So we are very transparent, and we are here to help you, and also to partner with you, not to act as at one time, service provider. We come and then we disappear into thin air. We stay with you, and we always make sure that your business is growing. And also, if you are a tech professional and you don't know where you stand in the AI spectrum, you can take a quick quiz. It's a free quiz. It takes only about 30 to 45 seconds to try and see where you are in the AI spectrum. And if you are thinking about using the skills that you have, the domain skills that you have, or your hobby, the skills that you have, the talents that you have, you want to convert that into an AI business, helping other people, then I'm going to give you more information at the and towards the end of this presentation. So let's get in and go get our hands dirty. You know that this is where we do everything live. We get our hands dirty, and it's demo time. So let's go into it. Now, guys, before I go into the demo, please let me know, click like this channel, share with people who might be interested in this video, invite them to join this live session, and like this page if you are a subscriber and you are not. If you are watching this and you are not a subscriber yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications of future videos. Anytime that we upload videos, you are going to get a notification about that video, and you can join if you want. And also, please comment on this video, not the chat, but comments, because these comments help the algorithm to bring us up and show it to other people. And your comments are very valuable to us. And ask questions. I personally answer all these questions every day. I go through that twice a day. I go through the comment section to see what people are asking, the questions, and I make sure I answer them. So please like this video and share with people, and subscribe to the channel if you are not. Now, time to get our hands dirty. It's show time. Let's go. Now I have a step-by-step uh, thing here, document here that we are going to go through. So everything that I do, you are going to understand the whole process, right? Section 1, we are going to do the email settings. We are going to check to make sure everything is fine. We are going to navigate to campaigns and create some templates. We will create a broadcast. We are also going to create from a template, I'm going to give you the two options so that you know which one to choose, whether you select a template or you create your own template. And also, we are going to build an email. And once we finish with that, we are going to add personalization. Some of these things are going to happen, like, section 6 might happen when we are building the email, so we don't have to come back. And then section 7, we are going to select our recipient. That is when we send the broadcast, right? We are going to select either a segment of it, or we are going to choose all the contacts depending on what the agenda for that campaign is. And then we are going to test and send that email to see how it will look like when we finish setting it up. And then the last part is we are going to see how we are going to show the tracking, and that might even happen. So this is not going to be in a step-by-step sequence. Some of them, once I'm there, I'm going to demonstrate all of that, so we don't waste time by going section by section. So the first part is we are going to check the email settings. And I have two accounts here. One is the demo account, which doesn't have a lot of things in there. And also, I have uh, my business account where I can show you some of these things so that you see how it looks like when it's populated. So, first of all, you are on your sub account, and where you want to go is to go to the settings. Once you go to the settings, you scroll down and go to where it says email services. This is very important, guys. And the reason why this is so important is that GoHighLevel has a default email where everybody shares the same platform. Now, when it comes to delivering your emails, some email service providers, have a very strict spam policies and might block your emails if it's not coming from your own dedicated email domain, right? So let's say Base Cloud Consultant, my email has to be a business email. If you don't have a business email, then you have to use the default one, which is the lead connector email system, which is provided by GoHighLevel. There's nothing wrong with it, but delivers emails. When I started, I was using this system. But if you want to increase your deliverability, then you want to attach your own business domain. And if you are running a business, you know that you need a dedicated business email. So your email could be with Gmail, it could be with Outlook, whatever your email service provider is, you want to come here to make sure that you configure this so that you will be able to increase your deliverability. Now, this is a whole thing that is going to take another session. So, for this part, if you guys are interested in learning how to set up this particular email configuration with your domain, let me know in the comment sections if you are interested, and I will make a dedicated video just about setting this whole thing up and configuring this whole thing with your domain provider so that you can increase your deliverability. So this is something that is very important. Once you get here, you see that everything is in red. This tells you that if you want to increase your deliverability, then you need to connect your own domain, right? And it's a no-brainer. But like I said, you can still use this and it delivers, but it's not gonna give you like, you know, it's not reliable, if I may. So yeah, not having a dedicated sending domain can lead to several issues when it comes to email communication. So it's just telling you that, deliverability problems, reputation damage, right? Limited control. You don't have control over that because you need to set things like SPIF, SPF, that's the sender policy framework, the DNS settings, the DKIM. All these things are email protocols that gives you a score. And once you have all these things in place, it gives you a good reputation with emails. So most of your emails are going to hit inbox and they are not going to go into the spam folder. This is so important. And so please, like I said, if I can get a lot of people telling me this in the comment section, not in the chat session, but in the comment section, that will motivate me to do a dedicated video just for email configuration. So let me know in the chat, let me know in the comment section if you are interested, you want to see this video. So once you get here, you can go to the reply and forwarding. And here it's also, let's say you have your personal emails and you don't check your business emails frequently, you can add a forwarding address here, or maybe it could be one of your VAs or your employees and you want them to get every email that is sent to you guys. You can put forwarding addresses here, and you can even blind copy people here, right? And you can also assign this to a member of the team. So this is where you do that. Also the reply address, I can say that, okay, I want to use my personal email to do the reply, so that when they get that message, it's going to look as if that the reply came from my personal, or maybe it came from another email. So you don't you can do all these things here. I don't normally mess with this because what I have is enough for me. I get enough notifications from, all over from the system, from my text message and all that. So I don't do this kind of stuff unless, of course, I want to be sending emails to somebody. Or let's say if I'm running an account for a client and I want them to have copies of the emails, then I can send it here so that they don't have to log into the account. This is where you have the email analytics, right? So what you send, what was delivered, how many have been opened. If you have a link in there and you are tracking that, how many links have been clicked. So let's say, you put a link to a project, a program, or a product, and you want to see if people are clicking on that link. If you send 1,000 emails and nobody clicks on that, it's either you are not tracking or maybe people are not interested. So you have to reframe your email and see why people are not clicking on it. All these things are very important. How many of them failed? How many people have unsubscribed from your email, right? How many bounce? This is so important. You want to stay below 4%. If you go beyond 4%, it's going to, like, GoHighLevel will penalize you by giving you warning and tell you that you have to clean your data. So what happens is that a lot of people create emails and sometimes they stop using them or something happens, right? I mean, I've had some emails that I'm not using anymore, and especially if it's like a business email and you are not using it anymore, you change domains and you change that email address might be in another person's database and they will try to send an email. It might not get to me. That is going to bounce. Now when you have a lot of bounced emails, that means that you haven't cleaned your data. You can do this. You can clean your data in Go High Level. It also charges you a little bit of money. I think for 2,500 to 2,800 emails, it only charges you $10. If you pay somebody at Fiverr, they're gonna charge you more than $50 just to do that for you. So that is something to know. So bounced emails are really important. Before you send emails, you have to clean them. So every now and then, like maybe every 2, 3 months, I turn this thing on and clean my data to make sure that all the emails that are not valid are pruned out of my system. And this is the risk assessment. It tells you the kind of risks that you have, like the deliverables, undeliverables, all this thing tells you what is happening. And then the bounce classification, like, is it a permanent bounce? Is it, bounce rate? All these things, it tells you delivery rate and all that. So I'm going to show you a real data on that. And this is the Postmaster tools, for Google. This is advanced stuff, but let me show you how it looks like over here. So as you can see, I have connected my business to it. So as you can see, mail.basecloud, and all this was set up in my DNS provider. So mine is Outlook, and everything was set up in Outlook. And like I said, I can do a video to explain how this is done. So you can also set this up. But as you can see here, this tells you that I am connected and everything looks great. Um, you can see, um, let me see. right? So it tells you, this is the configuration over here. I'm not gonna spend too much time here, but I just wanted you to have a look at that. I told you I haven't set up this thing here, but the email analytics, right? This is just for the last 6 days. So I've sent 1,023 emails. I've delivered 994, which is 97% deliverable rate. 88 have been open, right? So it could be that people are not haven't opened their emails yet, but this is where you also can have that sequential email automation where the system checks in 24 hours or in 32 hours. If they haven't opened their emails, you can resend that email, maybe in the same format, in a different format. Some links I'm tracking, 5 of them have been clicked, so that shows you that people are interested. Bounce rate is 20%, 28%, and that is 3%. If I go beyond this, I'm going to get an email. Sometimes it goes over and I get a nice love letter from GoHighLevel warning me to be careful about this, right? Nobody has unsubscribed yet in the last 6 days, so that is a good thing, and none of them had failed. So I need to clean my data to make sure that these 28 emails, which means that they are bad emails, they need to be pulled out and deleted from my system so that I have a clean database. Risk assessment, there is no risk here. Bounce classification, permanent bounce is 2.7. So that means that 2.7% or 2.8% of these emails are not good, like the 27 I was talking about. So I need to find these 27 emails and remove them. And once I do that, I'm good with it, and it gives you more information here. So this is something that is going to be in another video, like I said, but I just wanted you to have a high level of what happens under the roof, under the hood, right? So yeah, that is that. So now we are going to go into building the campaigns. As I said over here, we just did everything to make sure that we have everything. So now we're moving on to section 2, which is going to build the campaign. So right here, I'm gonna go to, you come to your dashboard, and then you go to, we are in the settings window, so we want to be here. And once we get here, we want to go into marketing, right? We want to go into marketing. Now when you go to marketing, we want to be on emails tab, the emails tab. Because remember, what we did on the other side was just the setting part. You have to be in the settings to do the email service. Now we know that this is all connected. Even the demo account is not connected to a dedicated email server domain, but this is where we created. So we have statistics, which is going to be your statistics, just like we saw for the email. We have the campaigns where you can create email campaigns, and then we have the templates where you can create email templates, though you can use it over and over and over again. So without wasting time, I'm going to create a template, and you also have an AI here where you can build this with AI, or you can build it manually. So you have that option, right? I can do AI or build this. So first of all, I want to, let's say, use a manual. Now I can select, create it from existing campaigns. So if I already have campaigns, I can borrow that template from that campaign, right? I can, there are default campaigns, email templates that you can borrow from. So let's say if I go to the templates, depending on your niche, automotive, beauty and fashion, coaching, creative, so if I go to coaching, for instance, you have a template and you can always preview to see what that template is. And this is the email template, and you can modify it, you can tweak it and put your logo, whatever you want. You can choose it if that's what you want. I'm just showing you how this works, and also because this topic is about AI, I want us to use the AI to build it, but just get an idea of how you can build these things without AI. So we're going to import from an email if we want. But let's say we want to build with AI, right? So we go to build with AI. So we are going to build a template with the AI, and so the AI is going to ask us what we want to do, right? So here is the assist. You can select everything that you want to do: the brand voice, the design kit. If you have a design brand kit in there, you want to give it to it so that it knows how to use the colors and the fonts that you have. That's the brand kit. So if you connect your brand kit to it, it's going to use that for you, and you can enter the business name, your niche, and all that. This helps the AI to come up with something. And your target audience, are they business executives, students, parents, retirees, all that kind of stuff, right? And then goal of this email: what do you want this email to do, and what are the offers? So this is using AI, but at the same time you are customizing it. Now if you come to build, then there are like prompts which are already in place, and you can select one of them. So let's say we want to do we miss you activation. Let's say you have a database of clients that you want to reconnect with them, and then let them know that you have some projects going on and all that kind of stuff. So once we hit this, it's going to name this template for us, and it's going to populate everything. And I'm going to show you why we do certain things here. So I will pick this one, and it's just going to start. It's going to start generating things for us. And like you see the steps over here: understanding your goal and intent, designing the right layout, crafting compelling email content, adding images that suit your tone, applying final touches for the performance. So this is going to do that. And let's go. And whilst this AI is building, let me show you how we can build this in we can build this the manual way as well, because like I said, you always want to do things um, you always want to do things the manual way, know how to do it the manual way, so that when it comes to doing it with AI, you can always point out if there's an error. So right now we want to create a template, right? So all that we need to do is new one, and then we go to blank. Here, guys, this is very important. Now we have the design editor, the code editor, and plain text editor. If you are doing a cold outreach, or you don't know these people, you don't know this list that much, they don't trust you, they don't know you, I will recommend this, because this doesn't have any images, it doesn't have a lot of links in there, it's all plain text, and this will increase your deliverability. I will recommend this design editor, which is cool, right? You can drag and drop, you can add images, your logo, your this, your that. This is when you have raving customers. This is where you have customers who already open your emails, you are already serving. This is the template you want to use for them. So let's say if I want to do um, an email blast or something like that to customers I already have, I can use this because there's a high deliverability. Their email filter system knows and trusts your domain. They know that they've been receiving emails from you. So I recommend this. But if you are doing a cold outreach, or this is the first time you are contacting these people, then you want to use this to give you high deliverability. This one is in the middle. The code editor is in the middle, and this is where you want to use, code, HTML code. If you have like a link that you want to embed the link in a word, this is what you use. So for this, I'm gonna show you how to use the code outreach, which is the plain text editor. So once we click that, we are just going to name our template. And so this template, like I said, you can use templates in different campaigns, right? You can have the same template, you can use it in so many campaigns. But once you have to change, let's say you have it in 20 different campaigns, if you have to update this template, you don't have to go into all those 20 workflows or campaigns that you have. You just come here in the template, you change or you make those updates, and it's going to sync with all the campaigns that you have. So you name the template, let's say, you know, demo, demo template, demo one template, and then we name it whatever we want to. So instead of hide there, and this is where I talked about the personalization. I'm not going to wait till we get to section 7 before I do that. So here, instead of hide there, we want to personalize and make this as if that we know them already and all that. So we want to use custom values, and custom values we want to use something like maybe their name or something like that. But we are going to do that, because we don't have the custom values is hiding here. We don't have it here. So you always want to add this. Depending on the screen that you have, you might be able to see all of them here, but this is what you have the custom values. So instead of hide there, I want to make it personalized, right? So that it sounds better. I use this, and the customs values, we have the contact information. Everything is mostly about the contact, right? The company information, and user is going to be me. Appointment. So if we are discussing about appointment, appointment date and all that, we might have different appointment dates for different clients. So once you use custom values, it's going to look at that contact and pull that information from there. This is so valuable, right? Account and all that. For now, we are going to use contact. So contact, what do we want? We want to address them by their first name, either full name, contact first name, last name, or email. So we want to use the contact first name. So it puts it right there, right? So this is going to populate. If I send this to 1,000 people, it's going to address everybody with their first name. And then I will say that, okay, I hope you are you are doing well. So yeah, you are doing well. And then here I'm going to say thanks. And then here I can put my name, but that is going to be hard coded. So I can still use custom values by saying user. So right here, I'm going to say user, user first name. So that's me. It's going to populate with my name. And then maybe I want to add another thing. So I want to add, let's say, company, user first name, user signature. So this is going to be my signature, which might contain my email and my phone number. Everything that is in there, it's already in the back end, and all these are default features, that default values that the moment you create your account, GoHighLevel creates them for you. If you want to add more, you can always do that, but that will be in a different. So you can preview this and see how it's going to look like. So let's preview this and see how it's gonna. So hi, example, Alex, right? That is the client's name. I hope you are doing well. Thanks. User first name and last name. This is a demo account, so it's not going to populate that. And sometimes with the default, I mean um, with the preview, sometimes it doesn't pull that information. It just shows you how it's going to look like in real email. But once you send this in a regular email, then it's going to populate all that information. So let's go back to the builder, and we are going to save this template. Remember, we were building another template, right? Now this has finished. Look, the AI named this as "We Miss You" activation. This was done by the AI, right? And this is the email I recommend you send if you already have a warm or a good customer base. They receive your emails and all that. So this is the template which has been built. We can come here and change the logo. If we don't like this logo, we can always create one with an AI. Let's say we pick this photo, right? Example, you can put in, describe the image that you want. Whatever you choose the style, we are not going to do that. So let's see if we have any logo in there. Upload from media library, and you can come here and pick one logo. So we put the logo in there. That is great. Anything that we don't like, okay, we miss you, contact first name, right? So this is going to say that we miss you. Let's say contact example Alex, the one that we just did. Claim your return. So this year you can put in the link, whatever your product that you are selling, you can put. So for me, if example is this link that I want people to see, I can put this link here and I can center it, or I can put it on the left, I can put it on the right. And what do I want? I want it full width. So there's a lot of customization you can do over here. So let's close this one for now, and then we can and you can still have conversation with the AI to do changes. If you don't like something, you want to delete something, you can do that. But let's hide this for now so that you can see everything. Now, if there's something that we don't like and we want to remove, we can always remove it. And so let's say if here we don't want to keep this, we just will delete this section, or we can add something. So we can say, we can add this. Hey, I'm just trying to tell you that you can edit this right away. This is drag and drop, and you can edit. Hey, edit me here, and then boom, that's it. If you don't like it, you can delete just this section like that. You delete it, or you can delete the whole section, right? And then you have this. So you can customize it and use it whatever way you want it. And you can change the messaging. You can change the background of the color, the background color. You can change that. There's everything that you can change. And also you want to show it on all devices, and you can preview that. So once we finish, we say save, and we have a template saved that we can use. This is going to reactivate our database, and we can even view it in a browser, but we can preview it. Once we preview it, this is how the email is going to look like. So we miss you, example Alex. That is the first name for our test, right? The background is that we can change the background, welcome back, blah, 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 reactivate my account and all that. Username, my name is here on behalf of example, Mark Lane. You put your company's here. It's everything is going to pull your company's information. So this is how you can create templates that you can reuse all the time. Now, this is done. So let's go back. Let's go back and create a campaign. So once we go back, we are going to create a campaign, right? So now we have our templates. These templates can be reused and reused so many times we want, but we want to create a campaign, right? And so we come here, we want to create a campaign. We go to create new campaign. Now, this is also linked to workflows, which is something that we did last week. And if you didn't see that message, please watch episode 22. You are going to see how workflows work, how to set them up. But yeah, so we want to create an email campaign, and then we can always start from the blank, or we can pick an email template. Now, we can start a new one if we don't have any templates in place, or we can select one of the templates that we use, right? Which is the email, your template. And this is the email templates that we have for different niches that you can pick from. This is like built-in templates that came with GoHighLevel. So here, let's say we want to use one of the templates that we just built, right? And that is we mix your activation. So this is what we are going to select. Now, once we select this, we want to broadcast this to our network. Okay. So now we can still make changes if we want. If we want to change whatever is in there, we can do that. But we don't want to do anything. We don't want to change anything. So we want to send this as is. And like I said, everything is drag and drop. You can delete things. You can add things. Whatever you want, you can do that. This is easy. And then here, now that we have this email is ready to go. Now, let me show you a couple of items here that you can use. So here is the AI email, the email AI we just used, so you can toggle it on and off. And here is the element. So everything you see here is the element. So instead of coming in here and deleting it manually, you can also do it over here, and you can even edit it right here, right? It's the same way. Appearance. This is the appearance. You can change so many things that you want. The background, you can change that. We are going to keep everything as is. And then if you want to do A/B testing, that is, you have two different emails, you want to see which one works. So you can turn A/B testing on and you can have two emails. So every time you blast, let's say you have 100 contacts, you send this to them, it's going to split them into 50-50. It sends 50 here, sends 50 there, and it's going to see which email, which is going to have the highest open rates and also the clicks and all that, all the metrics, whichever wins, let's say for 2 weeks test or 1 week test or maybe one email sample, it picks the winner and then the winner becomes the default that you are going to use. So, and here is where you save items and also the layout. You can switch left and right? So that is what I wanted you to see. Here is the desktop view. This is the mobile view. So once you do things, sometimes you want to check and see how it's going to look like and all that. So that is that. Yep. So this is ready to be sent, and this is how you send a broadcast. So now we are going to send a broadcast, and you come here, and there are so many things over here. Let me walk you through some of these things here. Everything that you are doing is going to be showed down here. I think I'm in the mobile view. That is why it looks so small. Yeah. So let me be here, and then here we can send this right now, or we can schedule it. Say send it at 4 p.m. Maybe it's a Sunday. I'm working on this, so it's not good to send a business email on a Sunday. So I want to send this on a Monday. So I will schedule this for Monday, or let's say, so I come here, I can pick my date, which is going to be like the first of June, and the time I want to send it is like 9:45 a.m. I can even batch schedule this if I want to send this like multiple times, and I can send this as a batch, and also I can do smart send. But you have to, unless of course you are able to deliver up to 1,000 messages, you cannot use this. So you have to be able to deliver up to 1,000 emails before you are eligible to use this. But my other account is eligible because I've sent more than 1,000 emails. But here you have the option to send it, and also you have let's go down here. So the sender name is optional. So I will put, let's say, Eric Baykes. I'll put that name. From email address, whatever your email address is, you put it. If it's your domain email, you put that domain. So Eric at, let's say, example.com, right? At example.com, or your domain.com, right? So this is the sender's email address. And I can set a reply address to this campaign. I showed you on the other part, that was the global settings, but you can also do it per campaign. And then the subject line, it has already populated that for me, and I can always change that with the AI content. We miss you, come back and see what's new. So, and this is the preview message that they will see. I don't know why this is not showing the whole screen. Let me reduce. Yes. Okay, that is great. So now you can see everything, the preview screen, the preview subject line. You can use AI to do that. And here we've missed you, blah, blah, blah. You can personalize this. So I will say that instead of say, we've missed you here, I will say that, okay, first name, we've missed you. So it becomes personalized, right? They will know that you are talking to them. And okay, I lost everything here. So um, let's go back. Let me see if I can get back my thing. All right. So we can put it a first name, so it's going to say like, hey, Eric, or, hey, Eric, hey, Eric, we've missed you, right? Come back and check whatever. And then here, very important. This is where you choose your recipient. So I can say that pick all the people that I have. So I can say, and I have example decoy contacts over here. So I can select all of them and say that send it to all these people, right? I can say show all contact, and then I can select all these people. I can select all of them. So now this email is going to go to all these people. I can also send it to a smart list. That is a list that I've already created. It's a smart list, which is going to be maybe people that I've tagged in different ways. I can also choose the contact, that I want to. And that is if you are sending this to maybe 10, 15, 20 people that you can do manually, then you can choose your contact tags, right? I can send it to built segments like contact who engage in the last 30 days, subscribers who engage in the last 5 campaigns. There's so much I can do. Subscribers engage in the last 5 campaigns. There's so much I can do here, and I can even build my own segment. I can say that tag, let's say send it to people with a tag that is let's say warm leads, right? Or I can say that add it to tags that is not, let's say, book confirmation, because obviously if somebody booked an appointment, I don't want to be sending this to them. So I can build my own segment. So this is going to send it to the list of people I have who are warm leads, but at the same time, remove people who have booked a call with me. And I can even track the clicks. I can also track the UTM. I can add more tags like, okay, if these people view this email, what do I want to tag them? So I can say that I want to tag them as read this particular email campaign. We miss you email activation. I want to tag them as so. We are not going to do that. And enable it to configure your recent opening on open settings. This is where I said, this is a broadcast campaign. We are sending it once, but let's say if somebody doesn't open the email campaign, we want to send it again. Maybe the first time, they were overflooded with emails and they missed that. So we want to send this again, maybe in 24 hours, in 12 hours. In the minimum is 12 hours, but you can send it in 24 hours or maybe 48 hours. You can change it to days if you want, and minutes, all those kind of stuff. And then you want to change the email subject line and say, hey, first name, contact, first name, did you see this, right? And then that will prompt them to check. So now I have this thing. I go to, let's say, scheduled, and it's going to be scheduled for June 1st. And Eric, this is the email, and I'm tagging these people. Everything looks great. Now, if everything doesn't look great, you are always going to see the warning sign over here. It's great. It even tells you that this is going to, you can send the email to test it if you want. So let's say if we want to test this email, I can put it's coming from here and send email to, let's say, I'm going to use my email to do this, whatever email, but I'm not going to put it there because of YouTube privacy policy. I'm not going to put it there, but if I should put this in here, I can do that right now. Let me just do it and then send it to myself so that I can check it. So I put it here. And then send the test. Right. So now I've sent that test email, and that is gone. So I will check that email. This is how you send a broadcast. So now we've been able to send a broadcast. Like I said, if you are having a campaign for a promotion, or you have to send one-time email to the list in your database or to a group of people, this is how you do it. You set a broadcast email campaign to all the lists, and you can schedule it, you can batch it, and send it. Let's say I want to send it every morning at 9 o'clock, Monday to Sunday. You can do this. You can do this. Send it how many quantities you can batch and send all of this. And so this is something that you can do. Now, next week is going to be about setting this up in a workflow campaign where you can see this all the time. So now what we are able to achieve here is we created a template and then we created an email campaign which is going to go to them. Now I didn't publish this, so this is still in the draft. Once I click the send or schedule, then it's going to schedule it. So let's go here again. I can schedule it for this is not going to go anywhere, but if it doesn't go because the email address and everything that I used is fake, it might hurt the bounce rate statistics. So I don't want to do that. But I sent myself a text email that I'm going to check right now and show you. So guys, if this was valuable, please let me see some tools in there. Let me know how you are going to use this in your business. If you are a tech professional who wants to build your AI consulting business, how are you going to do this to help your clients? What ideas do you have? What has been ringing in your head that you can use this, and add it to your services that you are already providing and increase your bottom line? There's so much you can do about this. So I hope this was very valuable and we were able to achieve what we wanted to do. Now let me go and check my email and see if I got the email right now from the test that we just did. And so let's go here. So yes, we were able to get that email. And if you look at here, you are going to see it. This came to my address. It says Eric Baykes. It came from Eric Baykes, and the logo is there. We miss you, Sarah. I'm using Sarah. It's been a while since you came around and claim your return claim here, right? Let's click on this. This is the link I put for my AI program. So the link is also working, and it gets down here. I reactivate my account and everything, because this was a proper testing, warmly, Erica J. Everything that I used populated, and the demo account, the name of the business, some fictitious road, Miami, blah blah blah. So all these things were able to put from my account. So you see how easy this is. I could have sent this to 20,000 people with just one click, or I could send it to 500,000 people. Have a product that you have to sell, you can imagine how many people you can reach. Even if you have a 1% conversion ratio, if you send 5,000 to people and only 1% is converting, how much is that? Do the math yourself. I'm not going to do it. But you see the power of email campaigns. So I hope this was great. And as usual, once you do this, you can always come back to your emails and check the metrics of the statistics of the emails that we sent. This is a demo. This is a sample data. So this is not a real thing. I just leave it there. But yeah, that is how you see the metrics. The campaigns are going, and your templates are going to be here. Every time you create a template, it's going to be here. So I hope this was valuable to you. And yeah, let me know in the chat if you have any questions. I can take some questions right now. I know we have 5 more minutes to go. So thank you for bearing with me. And here is what we just did together, right? We set up a Go High Level email marketing from scratch. We built a completed branded email campaign. We used templates. We also created a template and we used the drag and drop feature. We also even went ahead to an extra mile to add the AI feature and built an AI template, and then we created one manually. We also created a segment. You saw how this was done. send it to a segment, and we could pick clients that we want. We also showed you how we can personalize emails using custom fields, dynamic fields. We also I showed you how to track campaign performance. We talked about the bounce rate, what is important to monitor cleaning your data, and also 1500 to 1700 in tools expenses. And if you want to test Go High Level, I recommend you test it. You don't need a credit card to do that. Sandrine is going to drop the link for you. You can test Go High Level, and I'm always available to help you onboard things. I have so many people I help on weekly basis to help them start up and 3 days so that they can maximize the use of this tool. Also, if you want to work with me as a business owner and to you want us to help you with your AI footprint in your business, like these emails that we just set up, and also workflows, automation, trying to automate the most important things that bring money to your business, you can always reach out to us. You can book a 30 minutes demo, and I'll be happy to talk to you and help you out. And now, if you are a burnout tech professional who is looking to start your own business, or if you are knowledge, you have a skill, you have a talent that you want to share with the world, and you want to package it in AI and also sell it as an AI product, then this is the opportunity. You can join my 6 week program where you can turn your skills into a profitable AI business in just 90 days. And in this 6 week program, I take you through how business, how you come up with the idea. So the week one, we talk about clarity. You know where you are going, right? You define your AI niche. What is your skill? What is the idea that you have? This is where we talk about the background that you have, your tech background, or the skills that you've built over the years. Think of, we brainstorm that, and then, we pick either a consulting path or we pick the agency path. I always recommend that you start with a consulting, and then you morph into you morph into agency, or maybe from consulting you go into coaching, and then maybe into agency. The fear before it kills your dream. If you have a dream of running your own business, you have that calling, don't wait for the right opportunity. The right opportunity is always now. Just dive in and then fix things as you move along. If you wait for the right opportunity, it never comes. So you have on that. Week three, we talk about positioning. You become the go-to expert, right? This is where we package your skills into a premium service offer. And then week four, we talk about your digital presence. What are you marketing yourself as out there, right? On your Facebook profile, on your LinkedIn, on your this is where we talk about your digital presence, and we make sure that we position you as an expert in your AI consulting journey. And also the exit strategy. If you're already working, then what do you have to do? You don't want to burn bridges. You want to make sure that you live nicely, and so that you can even go back and sell your idea, your business, your AI consulting services to your business, to the company that you are working for. And then week six is where we have all the blueprint together. Everything is all mapped up together. And you are going to use this for the next 90 days to come up with your business. And you leave, and then you start a business, because we all know everybody has a mortgage, you have a rent, you have a car note, all that kind of stuff. So this is the safest way to do this. And if you don't know my background, my name is Baykes, and architect. I've been in the IT domain for over 20 years. I built a lot of systems for Fortune 500 companies like Equifax, Perficient, Blue Cross, Blue Shield. I've worked with so many, just tired of the corporate world, a lot of traveling, and it really hit home when I had my twin boys, which some of you know. And when I got to that point in my life, it was a decision whether I have to keep on follow my dream and uh, uh, work on my own business. And it was a tough decision, but I did that by sticking to my plans and starting my own business in the back. But I blown it full time, and I haven't regretted. The freedom and the peace of mind is great. So I challenge you to also think about it. If you've been getting that calling to start your own business, and this is going to be a wonderful coaching session, and by the time you get out, you are going to have a lot about how to start your own AI business. And there is always a money back. We are here to help you. And if this is not for you or it's not working for you, you get your money back and there are no questions asked. We give everything to you. But I have a strong belief that you are going to love it because I've to help you do the same. So I hope this was valuable. And as usual, please subscribe to the channel if you are not a subscriber yet. Like this video, comment on it in the comment section. That is where we see it. And questions, drop them in there. If you put them in the chat, I won't see them because right after this session it's gone. So please keep on putting the comments in the comment section and I will address them one by one. And we are going to meet again and 3 p.m. GMT. And don't forget that we are going to do the part two of this. And also, this is where we are going to move into the advanced section. Info. This is where we do the email sequence in automation so that when this thing happens, that is going to happen. When they do this, this will happen. All that kind of stuff. All is set up once and then it works. It was valuable to you, and please share this video to any business owner or any tech professional who is burnt out. And I hope to see you next week. Until we meet again, thank you and